Record. Just find that robot voice weird. We proceed. 2.6 talks about, well, it's more word problems, really. So we're just going to do more problems. Okay, first I just give an equation. Now let's just work with the equation. 0.08x plus 0.07 times 15,000 minus x equals 1,110. I think this must be some kind of interest rate problem where you're investing X dollars at 8% and this amount, so you start with $15,000, invest some of it at 8%, invest the rest at 7%, and get 1,110 interest for a year. And the question is how much in each account? Well, okay, first thing we do is distribute the 7% over these two terms. You get 8% of X plus, this time this is 1,050, minus 7% of X equals 110. The next step is to transpose the 1,050 by subtracting it from both sides. And you get on the left 0.08x minus 0.07x. And on the right, 1,110 minus 1,050. So combining like terms, on the left you get 0.01x, on the right you get 60. To isolate x, you divide both sides by 0.01. Get x equals 60 over 0.01 is 6,000. So it's, I assume it would be $6,000, but that's the answer to this. Okay, here we have a similar problem. We have some $25,000 being split among two accounts, X dollars at 4% and Y dollars at 7%. And over a year, it makes you 1,300. How many in each account? All right, the two accounts add up to 25,000. X plus Y is 25,000. The rule is 4% of X is how much interest that gets. 7% of Y is how much interest that gets. So you add those up and you get the total interest of 1,300. 0.04x plus 0.04y equals 1,300. Now starting from this one, X plus Y equals 2,500. The trick is to solve for Y by Y alone. Just do that by subtracting X from both sides. Get Y equals 25,000 minus X. We can substitute this here where Y is. And that way get this, which is one equation and one unknown. 0.04x plus 0.07 times 25,000 minus x, that equals 1,300. Okay, now, the rest is algebra. First step is distribute the 0.07 over these two terms, get 0.04x plus, this time this is 1,750, minus 0.07x here, equals 1,300. As before, we'll transpose the 1,750 by subtracting it from both sides. Get 0.04x minus 0.07x equals 1,300 minus 1,750. The left side simplifies it down to minus 0.03x. The right simplifies to minus 450. So to solve for x, you divide both sides by minus 0.03 and get x equals minus 450 over minus 0.03 equals 15,000. Y is 25,000 minus x, so 25,000 minus 15,000 is 10,000. So we get that $15,000 is invested at 4% and $10,000 is invested at 7%. Okay, here's another investment issue. Let's see. There's an amount, X dollars that's invested at 7%, same amount at 8%, same amount at 10.5%, making a total interest at 1 year's interest income of 1249.5. So how much in each? Okay, fine. 7% of X plus 8% of X plus 0.105% of X is 1249.5. If you combine like terms on the left, you get 0.255x, so that equals 1249.5. Divide both sides by 0.255 and get x equals 1249.5 divided by 0.255, which is 4,900. So the answer is 4,900 in each account. Now this next one is a time distance problem. Distance equals rate times time. A cyclist leaves the training base for a workout riding at 18 miles an hour. 1.5 hours later, the support staff leaves the base in a car going 45 miles in the same direction, 45 miles an hour in the same direction. How long will it take for the support staff to catch up with the cyclist? So give that, so they're asking after that time, t equals the car time. There are t hours in the car, and t plus 1.5 hours, the bicyclist was on the bicycle. Now, what we're given is that the car catches up. So the distance that the bicycle goes is the same distance that the car goes. Now the bike is going, and the rule is distance equals rate times time. The bicyclist was going at a rate of 18 miles an hour for a time of t plus 1.5. The car was going at a rate of 45 miles an hour for a time of t. So 18 times t plus 1.5 equals 45t. Okay, so the next step is to distribute the 18. Get 18t plus, this times this is 27. 18t plus 27, that equals 45t. We'll move the 18t to the other side by subtracting 18t from both sides. So 27 equals 45t minus 18t. So 27 equals 27t. So if you divide both sides by 27, 27 over 27 equals t equals 1. So the answer is it took them 1 hour. Here we have what's called a mixture problem. So there's a printer has 8% cobalt blue ink and 22% cobalt blue ink. And they want to know how many of each. So Y is the ounces of 8% cobalt blue, and the Y is the ounces, a number of ounces of 22% cobalt blue. And they want to make 1/2 gallon, 64 ounces, of ink that is 15% cobalt blue. The total ink is 64 ounces. The amount of cobalt ink in that is 15% of that 64, which is 9.6. Total ink is 64. Now, oh, by the way, this is what I mean by rhetorical algebra, because on the left side is some words. Something equals 64. Well, what's the total? Well, is y ounces of this, x ounces of this, y ounces of that. So x plus y is the total amount of ink, and the sum equals 64. Now, of the x ounces of ink, 8% of it is cobalt blue. So it's 8% of x. To that you add the 22% of y, that is that cobalt blue. And those two, and that total amount of cobalt blue is 9.6. So here's our two equations and two unknowns. X plus y is 64, 80% of x plus 22% of y equals 9.6. Mixture problem. Now here, again, what we want to do is to solve first for one variable in terms of the other. From here, x plus y is 64, it follows that y equals 64 minus x. And then we can substitute that 64 minus x anywhere in this other equation. And when you do that, you get 8% of x plus 22% of 64 minus x. That equals 9.6. This is one equation and one unknown. Okay, now as before, first order of business is to distribute this over the parenthesis, 0.22 over 64 and minus x. You do that, you get the equation 0.08x plus 14.08, that's that times that, minus 0.22x equals 9.6. Next step, transpose the 14.08 by subtracting from both sides. So you get 0.08x minus 0.22x equals 9.6 minus 14.08. The left side is minus 0.14x. The right side is minus 4.48. To isolate x, we divide both sides by minus 0.14. X equals minus 4.48 over minus 0.14, which comes out to 32. Y is 64 minus x. That'll be 64 minus 32, which is also 32. So the answer is 32 ounces of the 8% cobalt, and the other 32 ounces is of the 22% cobalt ink.
Hey, Professor, if you was to minus that 0.14, wouldn't you get negative 0.28?
I'm sorry, where what?
Negative, wouldn't you add it instead of times it? Because if you minus it, you get
Which step? Where do I?
0.14x.
This one, minus 0.14x equals minus 4.48, right? This,
Uh-huh. If
I
you use the minus,
we divided both sides by minus 0.14.
uh-huh.
And so you get x alone on the left because the minus 0.14 cancels.
Okay, so you divide.
Yeah, you divide because x times is minus 0.14. So do
Okay,
the opposite operation, which is a divide.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so the thing about algebra, it's not really about the numbers, it's about the operations. So it's sort of on the next level up, not the data you're working with, but what to do with the data. All right, here we go. Here, sorry, I sometimes get lost. No, this one. There we go. Oh, here's a fun one. Someone has P pennies, N nickels, D dimes. All right. There are 20 more pennies than dimes, and the number of nickels was triple the number of dimes. The total value of $5.40. How many of each type of coin were in the bank? OMG, who even pays attention to pennies nowadays? But I digress. So the number of pennies is 20 more than the number of dimes. There are 20 more pennies than dimes, so P equals D plus 20. And not the other way around. You know, that's the difficult part in translating. The number of nickels is triple the number of dimes, so N equals 3D, and again, not the other way around. You have to take care about that. Okay, and also the value is $5.4, and each penny is worth $0.01. So 0.01p is the value of the pennies. Each nickel is worth $0.05, so 0.05n is the dollar value of the nickels. And each dime is worth $0.10, so 0.10d is the dollar value of the dimes. And these all add up to 5.4. Now, okay, again, we can substitute because p and n are written in terms of d, the number of dimes. So substituting d plus 20 in for p and 3d in for n, we get this equation. 0.01 times d plus 20 plus 0.05 times 3d plus 0.10d equals 5.40. Now, as before, we distribute, just basically get rid of as many parentheses as possible. And we get 0.01d plus 0.2 plus 0.15d plus 0.10d equals 5.40. All right, we move this constant term 0.2 to the right by subtracting it from both sides. Subtracting because it was being added, and again, the opposite operation. What you're left with is 0.01d plus 0.15d plus 0.10d equals 5.4 minus 0.2. We combine terms. On the left, you get 0.26d. On the right, you get 5.20. To isolate d, we would divide both sides by 0.26. Get d equals 5.20 divided by 0.26. That's 20. Now to find p, that's d plus 20. So you get 20 plus 20, which is 40. For n is 3 times d. So 3 times 20, that's 60. So 40 pennies, 60 nickels, and 20 dimes. For this one, I actually, when I, in previous courses, editions, whatever, semesters, I've had to ask after the rules of basketball, such is my own personal cluelessness. Okay, this person, what did she get? This person got 113 points. All right, breaking a national record, fine. Prince made 96 more 2-point baskets than 3-point baskets, and only one free throw. How many of the 2-point and 3-point baskets did she make? Right, so they're asking after these. So we give them names. Call X the number of 2-point baskets, Y the number of 3-point baskets. Okay. We're given that X is 46 plus Y. 46 more 2-point baskets than 3-point baskets. X equals 46.Y. And again, you have to make sure that it's X equals 46 plus Y and not Y equals 46 plus X. Take care. Okay. And, oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. I suspect I've massively messed this one up. I may have to go back to it sometime because look at this. X is 46 plus y, but it's not x plus y plus 1 equals 113. OMG, it's 2x plus 3y plus 1 equals 113. Arg! Well, yeah, I hear you laughing. You're right. You know what? This is a sort of...
Where's that horn?
Here's that horn. Ouch. All right, let's see if I can do this on the fly. Arg. Okay, we do have x equals 46 plus y. You know what? Let's get out of here. Stop share. And let's see if I can make this speaker view. Can you hear me? Can you see me? For some reason, it's just you, Mr. Dixon. Please, can you turn off your speaker? Okay, can we? Oh, hold on. Why is this not working? You know, I still remain vastly confused as to how to work this thing. Anyhow, all right, x is 46. Can people see this? All right, and we also have, what is it? 2x plus 3y plus 1 equals 113, right? 2x plus 3y plus 1 equals 113. I think, is this visible? All right, we just substitute in 2 times 46 plus y plus 3y plus 1 equals 113. Substituting this into here, like that. And so if you distribute the 2 over the 46 and the y, you get, let me see, what that would be, 80, 12, 92, plus 2y, plus 3y, plus 1 equals 113. Like that. I hope you can read that. And then move the 92 and the 1 over by subtracting 92 and 1. And when that happens, 2y plus 3y equals 113 minus 92 minus 1. Now let's see. 2y plus 3y equals, well, we have it over there. And so the left side combines to 5y. 113 minus 92 minus 1 is 20. 5y is 20. And so therefore dividing by 5, y equals 20 over 5. And that's 4. And x is 46 plus y, which is 4, which is 50. So x is 50. So 50 of the 2 pointers and 4 of the 3 pointers. Like that. And you know, like I said, I definitely have to change this. Okay, my error, honk. So, all right, this will have to change. I should change this. So be it. Okay, I believe that concludes. I believe we concluded our section 6. Next is section 7, which is about linear inequalities, which we'll cover next time, I guess. Okay. Well, all right. Aside from the honker, I guess we're done for tonight. Any questions? Oh, wait, before I go on, let's stop the recording. Yes.